What's that? What's that? Oh my gosh, there's a crazy face in my doorway. Hey guys, Nicole Sauce here from Living Free in Tennessee. And we're live from the homestead. I thought I'd do a fireside chat today. Do they make glasses that don't get the glare? I'm just wondering. Anyway, it's been a really opportunity-full 4 days. I'm going to close my door. If I don't close the door, what'll happen next is every animal will see that I'm sitting down and then they want in my... Can you hear me okay? I was talking to Jack earlier today and he's loud and I'm short. Anyway, yeah, we've had a lot of opportunities come through and it was kind of interesting. I feel like the universe was testing me, but let me know if the audio is bad. Sometimes we have bad audio. I'm going to move my keyboard out of my way. I'm going to get my notebook here. So the podcast is usually recorded on Monday and Monday happened and I've started journaling at night because it was given to me as a homework assignment to journal at night. And the reason it was given to me as a homework assignment is that I'm working through some emotional things from all of the changes in my life in the last 12 months. I've been having kind of a hard time. Hey, Mike, your coffee's on the way. I've been working, like, when you have a lot of life changes at once, you just kind of go into shock for a while. And then what I did is I went into panic mode for a long time and I kind of came out of that. And then it was a year later and I was like, I'm really sad and I need to work through that so that I don't bring that with me into my next chapter. And so I decided to go see a counselor. And we started talking, and she gave me the homework of at the end of the day writing in the journal instead of the beginning, because then I can reflect on what happened and learn from that moving forward. Now, for me, what that's meant is I now journal twice a day. And it's been kind of cool because at the end of the day yesterday, I was like, wow, Monday is always hard for me because everything happens on Monday. We have choir rehearsal on Monday, except for not right now, because choir hasn't started yet. We have the podcast. We have all the coffee orders that came over the weekend need to be roasted Monday and mailed. Like all of these things kind of come to a head on Monday. And in order to take my Monday back, I usually don't take new things. Well, then last week, as you know, I took some vacation days and then I treated the rest of my days like they were vacation. So I did, if I had a coaching session scheduled, I did it, but then I didn't add anything new. And that left me space in my days. And for one whole day last week, I had space in my day. And then it's like, I was like, I could build my weeks this way all the time. And I thought, cool, I'll just pretend like I'm on vacation all the time. And then that's how I get stuff done that really needs to be done. And I cut the stuff that's lower priority. I hate you go on video and your nose itches. That's what happens. So I did that perspective. And then the universe likes to test me. When I'm finally making the right steps forward, the universe is like, interrupting cow. That's what it does. So all these opportunities started popping up all on the same day. Like it was Thursday. I got up Thursday and I was just going to kind of do my day and had a couple of things. And it just like, I got up in the morning and had my quiet cup of coffee outside like I like to have it. And then looked at Facebook, looked at email, and a friend had emailed me saying, or reached out to me asking if I could do a video for Mother Earth News. Well, I've been wanting to work with Mother Earth News for a year and I've reached out a few times and it just hasn't worked out. And I was like, well, yes, I do. And I'm like, but when do they need it? And it was kind of an urgent project where somebody had not been able to do what they were supposed to do. And so I ended up committed to doing a video. Well, I'm a podcaster. I'm really good at the audio part, right? Not the video part. So that's like, I've done some videos, but I've been in sort of the not producer, but the guidance role of video, but I don't do a lot of video editing, so I'm really slow. And I was like, well, I can't do it by Friday, but I could do it by Monday. That would be my timeline because I know I'm going to need the weekend, and then that means I'm working the weekend. But, it's kind of cool to do something for Mother Earth News. So I'll do it. I got time. I've made all this space in my life. And so that happened. And then I was talking to Jack Spirko about doing an episode about like lessons learned from the COVID shutdowns as a prepper. And I had sent him some notes and he's like, well, let's record that. I'm like, sure, I got time. And, like things just kept happening like that all on Thursday. And by noon on Thursday, I had like knocked out everything I needed to get done officially by noon on Thursday. But my head was like, wow, all of these new opportunities. What am I going to do? And then it happened. My last roast of the day. Teresa knows what happens. Hi, Teresa. You're not Michael. You just look like you're disguised as Michael. I went out and like when I get my roaster dialed in, I can run a roast and leave for 20 minutes and come back. I came back and there was smoke in my roasting camper. And I was like, well, that's not good. And what had happened is my roaster had caught on fire. So that meant I, could not roast my last roast of the day. And B, I had to figure out why the roaster caught on fire. And the dogs are going crazy because I'm recording. And when I record, the dogs go crazy. It's what they do. They just want to be on here, I think. And one of them's really committed to it, as I can hear. And so I was like straight on the phone with the manufacturer, like, I don't know what happened, but fire bad. Now what do I do? And so we talked through it. And by that time, I had taken the beans out and they were like not even compost worthy burn. Like I made charcoal. It was bad. And it wasn't a dark roast. It just had caught on fire. And so we went through everything and he said, well, it's, it could be your blower has gone out. And for a roaster of your age, that's possible, or a gas leak. And I don't think I have a gas leak. Worst case scenario, it's the roasting chamber. The good news, guys, is the way my roaster is built is it's supposed to have fire, right? The way you roast coffee is you heat it, and I have a propane burner in there that heats it up, and then air moves the beans so they're never touching the bottom of the roasting chamber so they don't get burnt. So we don't have star burnt, we have hollow roast. And so he said, but in order to test that, you need to clean the whole roaster up, like take everything apart. Like I do a pretty deep clean once a month on the roaster where I take it mostly. I have to take everything apart. And then because there was fire and there was oil in coffee beans, the chamber where the coffee beans were, like, the worst burnt on oven grease you've ever cleaned off your oven in your whole life. I had that, only it was thick. It was like 2 to 3 millimeters there. And I figured it off. And it smelled like charred coffee beans. Charred, got that going. Don't worry, the roaster. And pretty much all day, I was cleaning the roaster. All day Friday. It included fine that seemed like it would cut through oil. Like any caustic thing that would remove that residue I got. Now, there are different things that I can put in the oven, and I did that, and that just burns it all off. It's great. Super easy. Chamber itself is made out of glass. And I didn't know I could put that in the oven without being a plastic roasting chamber. A replacement chamber costs $250. And we're talking about a roaster that I'm really looking to upgrade to a bigger size roaster. I'll keep this roaster for smaller, much as you right now. And I didn't want to put that $250 in and then put $500 into a blower, or I don't even know how much it is for roasting. So, at that point, that's $1,000 towards the new roaster that I could have spent, and then I could just have the new roaster. So I thought to myself, I've got nothing to lose at this point. I have a $250 roasting chamber, and my pickaxe. Look. Oh, I have a file I'm uploading somewhere that's huge. It's 82%. And the minute it's uploaded, I can delete that 2 gigabyte file, and then I will have more room on my drive. Anyway, so you know what, guys? I go close the door. It's like the double door thing. I've tried CLR. I've tried like all of these things. I've tried everything but industrial grade rubbing alcohol, by the way, which I can't get my hands on. And if you know how I can get some, let me know. But I tried rubbing alcohol. I tried baking soda. I tried barkeeper's friend. Like, list goes on. Still not coming off the glass. I tried a razor blade. And I thought, I've got a pumice stone. It's brand new. And that's what I used. And that's the only thing that worked on the roasting chamber. It took me 4 hours with a pumice stone. The pumice stone disappeared in the degreasing of that. But I took the whole chamber apart. Like I took the bottom screen out. It has like this handle that has a plastic handle. All of that got taken apart and scrubbed. And at the end of it, I had a roasting chamber without buildup on it that smelled like burnt coffee bean. Because really, if that was there, guys, I can't use it to roast because that flavor will come into your coffee. So then I rinsed it really well, got that all done, and it was 9 o'clock when I was done. And I smelled like a big, giant, burnt coffee bean. And that's how I went into my weekend. Well, what that meant was I had agreed with Mother Earth News to make a video about some things that I will totally share with you guys when we come out. And I hadn't done anything about it Friday. Friday, I wanted to have my storyboard done so that Saturday I could be shooting and Sunday I could be editing, and it'd be like a nice transition into the weekend. And Brian, by the way, you're a moderator on my channel, which means if we get any of the like trolley things that sometimes come in, you can totally ban those guys once they come in. So just wanted to say that. So opportunities. I have a Mother Earth News video to make. I have an interview with Jack that was now scheduled for Monday. And then I decided to go. Saturday, it took me pretty much all day to get my storyboard done and to get everything staged for this video because it's about growing food in different ways in the winter, which we're just now getting ready for the winter grow season here. And that means I don't have things set up. Like I had things taken apart and had to put them back together for this and all of that. So, and it was Saturday. People came by to visit, and I stopped and talked to them. And I had a hip camper coming in, all the stuff that happens here on the weekends. And got to the end of the day Saturday, and I was like, at least I have my storyboard, and I'm ready to record tomorrow. I just need to read through the storyboard in the morning and kind of process how I'm going to do this, and then record. And we have a brand new Rode microphone. It's like a lav mic, so that I'm not stuck like this on the video. But, and I have a video camera that mic works with that we use for workshops that we haven't had the chance to use at the workshops with a mic. So it's just like the built-in mic of the video recorder when we record workshops. And I was like stoked to get this thing going. And so I spent part of the morning messing with tech on that. And then we started recording. And Tactical was helping me with this. He was running the camera, and I had it all staged in my kitchen, and I was recording all of the like basic information, and then I was going to put B-roll showing the stuff outside and showing, whatever from this winter, because I wanted to show some stuff from this winter about the lettuce that we grew, because we grew a lot of lettuce this winter. Anyway, to make a long story longer, it took us like all day Sunday, because like halfway through I'm recording, blah, 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 dogs start barking, and I'm like just ending a segment, and they start barking, and I'm like, I just nailed this segment, and now I have dog barking, and it's Mother Earth News, so I can't have dogs barking. Like I can have dogs barking here while I'm live Fireside chat. And I was like, and what the hell is going on? Like at the end of this, it's like my I'll find that outtake at some point and put it up here because it's so funny. And then my computer that I process video with won't start. So that happened. And I was like, great, we got the video. I can start doing editing it in, and then I'll do the final edit tomorrow morning. It'll be awesome. I'm setting myself up for success. No, that computer didn't work. It took Tactical had to take it down to his house and rip it. And then we brought it back up here on a thumb drive. And then I bring it in, and he's like, what do you think about the audio? Guys, it sounded like crap. The audio was bad. And I was like, oh, I can mess with it. So I got everything into iMovie, and I was compressing the audio and cutting out it was like, it had this weird echo. Like this might have a little bit of an echo because my room is, has hard surface. It was like, reverb in a freaking concert hall. Like, I have no idea how that echo even got in there. Like, we're gonna have to figure that out. It's either something with my camera or the new mic. I'm not sure. So I'm like, no, I can work with it. And I'm about halfway into the video. And the other thing is, okay, this is my vanity. I looked like crap on the video. Like, I don't look great right now, but I mean, I look bad. And like the colors in my face were weird. And my hair, which I had just like styled for the video, looked stringy. Like I'd been outside and sweating and then came in. No. And I'm like, this is Mother Earth News I'm doing this for. I basically look like a slob rolled out of bed and recorded a video. I can't do that. So I was like, fine. And sent a text because I had told people they could come visit now because I was done recording, neighbors. And I was like, I'm going to re-record the whole thing. And I decided to sit down here in my studio with that mic, which I know how it works, recorded the whole thing at one time, just all of the scenes with me sitting here. And then I knew I could bring B-roll in of this because we already shot the B-roll, take the sound out of that so we didn't have the weird sound, and then be done with it. And the video would be done. And I had a couple slides with some words on them that I needed to put in there. So I did that. And it was like 7:30 yesterday by the time I was done. And then I hadn't even started editing. So ate dinner, decided I'm going to be more efficient editing if I sleep first. Because guys, I go to bed early. Usually. I need a big light. Yes, Jaggy, I do need a big red light. I can be like, I'm on, I'm off. I need my dogs to not bark when I'm recording. That'd be really awesome. So before bed, I wrote in my journal what I was going to do. And you know how I do my 3 things, right? There were 7. There were 7 3 things. 7 3 things is a problem. You cannot have more than 3. So I wrote them down. I needed to finish the Mother Earth News video. I needed to do my show notes for the podcast. I needed to make some video of the roaster roasting to send to the manufacturer so we can decide what needs to be done so it does not catch on fire again. That one's kind of important to my longevity. Interview with Jack. So Jack Spirko interviewed me today. His show's probably already out by now. If it's not, by the way, guys, spoiler alert, it's me. I needed to record my show, which takes an hour to an hour and a half. I needed to spend an hour cleaning because if I spend an hour cleaning every day, then my house doesn't completely melt down into frat house level messy after a big party. And then I needed to do some coffee outreach for the orders that have come in over the weekend and let them know there's a delay in shipping because my roaster caught on fire. My roaster caught on fire. Oh, bye, Sue. I'll see you probably. Am I seeing you this week? Anyway, bye, Sue. And I really needed to walk me and my dogs because I have not been building things into my life that are important, like exercise and fun. I mean, I have fun all the time, but like going on a kayak, going swimming, taking the dogs for a walk, going on a hike, whatever it is you do for fun. I have been, my fun has been roasting coffee and promoting stuff online and cleaning my house and canning stuff. It's fun. But I need to do some recreation too so that my brain gets some space. Jaggy, I've not been swimming in the lake, but I'm in my swimming shorts right now and I might sneak over there today. So I looked at it, I thought about it and I was like, well, I got to choose 3 of them. And I decided last night I would dedicate 1 hour each to each of these things. And then at the end of the day, some of them wouldn't be done and some of them would. And then the one thing I had to get done was that Mother Earth News video because I had promised them they would get it Monday. And so that was the first thing on my list today. Mother Earth News video, 1 hour. And then I was going to do an hour of show notes. And then I was going to do an hour on the roaster. Then an hour interview with Jack. And then I was going to do an hour to record the show. And then an hour decluttering my front room. And then an hour doing coffee outreach. And then an hour watching the dogs. That is 8 hours. Okay, it's 4:00. I started at 7. How much of that do you think I've gotten done by now? Have I recorded my podcast? Negative. Have I done my show notes? No. Do I know what my show is about tomorrow? Yeah. Okay, so this happened. Somebody reached out and said, check out this thing. And I checked it out. It was really cool. And it's somebody who's really cool, who you're really going to like. And they were like, I'm not quite sure how I want to release it, though. And I was like, do you want to do an interview on my podcast? Because I haven't recorded my show yet today, and I'll just wing it at that point. And they're like, yeah, but can't do it till tomorrow. And I was like, well, thank you, universe. Now you've just given me my solution. I'll go live on YouTube with my listeners. And then tomorrow I'll record the show with this person. Guys, you cannot miss tomorrow's show. It's going to be really cool. It's going to be something completely different from what we usually do, but you're really going to like it. You're going to really like it. Jaggy says, put yourself first out of all those. Yeah, Jaggy, that walk with the dogs is happening this evening when it cools down a little bit more. Totally happening today. So yeah, if I go back to my list, well, show notes and show are off. That's 2 things off the list. This is what you do when your My 3 Things get derailed. And I actually wrote it this morning. I only have 2, 3 things at the top. One of them is the Mother Earth News video. And the other one is I got to get workshop registrations up on my website. And that will still happen. Those are my 2 do or die things today. So right after this live stream, I'm going to do the poultry workshop registration on the website. And I'll talk about that on the interwebs where you usually interact with me. And then I will look back at this list and decide what else I'm doing, because by that time it will be 5 o'clock probably. And I've just worked from 7 to 5, and that's fine. That's what you do sometimes. But then I'm going to walk the dogs at 5, and then it will be 6, which is dinner time. Nighthawk's cooking tonight. He's making liver and onions. Am I eating that? No, I think he's making something else too. Don't know. If he doesn't, I've got leftover stew. And the rule around here is if you don't like what's for dinner, you can cook yourself something else. And sometimes when we know somebody doesn't like something, we try to make enough side dishes that they're happy. But that's happening. I'm not just not a liver person. And then I actually still have not looked at my roaster. So I'm going to make all the videos after dinner. And by that time, it will be 8 o'clock. You know what's happening at 8 tonight? Nicole is closed. So I'm not going to get everything done. And I know a lot of people, when they look at a list like this and they look at their day and they realize it's going to be the end of the day and I'm not going to get it done. I've known all day I probably wasn't going to get this list done. They get emotionally upset. And that emotional upset is what keeps you from getting the things done that you can get done, right? And Akira says, I thought I only worked 1 job today, then looked at my calendar. Once I got to job 1, I discovered I was wrong. Thankfully, I have great kids. See, kids are helpful. And my neighbors have been helping me today. Like, I didn't do any animal care today because I was like, here's my day Monday. It's going to be nuts. And then it got more nuts. Haven't had liver and onions since school dinners. Yeah. So you don't like it either. That's good to know. 7 to 5 every day, unfortunately, Eric says. Yep, that's the way it goes. I'm going 7 to 8 today, which is fine. One of those hours is a walk the dog, so that's cool. So, yeah, the emotions that you have that keep you from just doing anything on your list actually put you further behind. And so there's no way that I was going to let that happen today. I decided, like, what will be, will be. You know, that was my approach to the day. And that's good because the Mother Earth News video, I edited that puppy from about 8 in the morning till 10:15 or 10:30 when Jack interviewed me for my hour interview. Guess how long that was? Sometime after 12:30 we wrapped up. And then I went back to the Mother Earth News video. I'd already told him I was going to have it by noon. And I had discovered an audio problem this morning. So I already had audio problems originally, shot the dang video twice. And there were some funny outtakes in the first round when I was doing like scenes the first time. The second time I just did the whole video at one time because I was like, I'm getting this done. And so that thing then with the audio problem. So when I recorded, I didn't notice this was happening at the time. And then I had recorded the whole thing and it was well done. The audio was all on my left ear. Now it sounded like it was in both ears, but it was all on my left ear. And I went online and looked at this, and there was no way to fix it in iMovie that I could find. And what I needed to do was export the audio, import it into any one of a number of programs, take it from stereo to mono, so it's the same on both, and export it and bring it back into the video. Now, why iMovie doesn't just have a way to do that, like a setting, I don't know, because it seems like something people would want, but maybe it's really hard to code. I don't know. So I opened GarageBand, which you're supposed to be able to do this in, and that setting is missing off of my version. And what I now need to do is uninstall GarageBand and reinstall it because probably in one of the updates something funky happened. I'm not sure what. So And I'm like, great, I'm already late with this video. Before my interview with Jack, I knew there was a problem and I'd already spent an hour on it. And I had put out on Facebook, who can fix this for me? Because I just don't have time to mess around with it right now. And a whole bunch of people said yes. And I sent it to one of those people and he actually fixed it while I was talking to Jack. And then after I was done talking to Jack, I was already past when I said I'd give him the video. I reached out to Mother Earth News and I was like, I'm really sorry. I have this audio problem. And a friend of mine is just finishing up taking it from left side only to mono so that I can get this done. And they were really understanding. And he said, but if you need my guys to do it, we can do it, right? Well, okay, so then I get the whole thing done. And then you render the 20-minute video. It took like an hour to export it to an actual video file, which I have now finally uploaded. It's finished uploading. Yay! I have now uploaded it to Mother Earth News, and it took me all bloody day. And my intention at the beginning of this was to give them it Monday morning so they have time to deal with it on Monday. So I feel a little bad about that, but it is what it is. I was plagued by audio issues, and it's just a clear indication that I'm not a video person. So I'm an audio person. I'm very comfortable producing the podcast and getting the audio done. But when I'm doing audio in a video program, I get like, it's like I'm on the moon. I don't know why I'm on the moon. And then the video part is not my forte, and editing. And I do like to outsource editing because I'm lazy. No, I'm not. I'm just not like what takes me, it took me from 8 to 10 something. And then from 12 to 2 to get it done. And it's like literally me talking for 20 minutes and things popping up showing you, right? It's not a hard edit. It's not like animation. I didn't do any of the even transitions because those are kind of annoying. And yeah, by the way, I'm looking for a good video editor. Throwing that out there. And yeah, that's how today went. And I had figured 2 hours maximum of editing time on this today, and it took twice that. And my interview with Jack always takes twice that because we get to talking, and then yeah, you'll hear when you hear his show today. So I got a question here. How's choir doing? Jaggy, that's an interesting one. So most of our choir are in the demographic that is at risk of developing bad COVID and dying. And I'm on the board again this year just to do their website. And we decided this year, after pulling the membership, to do our first semester virtually. So we're doing choir over Zoom. And hopefully the choir members will join us because I think seeing people's faces and singing is really good to help with the emotional part of feeling isolated. And in our communities, people are still isolated. So we're starting that in a couple of weeks, or maybe it's next week already. I don't know. What's today? Yeah, I think it's next week already. So we'll be doing that. And then hopefully as people get comfortable with the technology, we'll be able to maybe do a virtual performance, but we'll see. And then really, really hopefully by next January, we're all back to singing like normal people do in a room with music in front of us. And then hopefully, we're going to do the Requiem, which we did not get to do last year, which I've waited my whole life to sing. And if that doesn't happen, I'm going to have to go find another dang choir to go sing the Requiem with. So if your choir is singing the Requiem, let me know. I might just fly out and perform with you if your director will let me do that. Okay. What else we got here in the comments? Jaggy, sometimes the night is my time. Bye, Eric. Have a good one. So Jaggy had COVID, guys. And he says, I find that after my COVID isolation is still bad to I find after my COVID isolation, thank goodness for technology to be able to get out. So he had it and people brought him stuff, and technology does help you get out virtually, if nothing else. Really, the reason I wanted to do this live stream, though, was to talk about what to happen. So when you have a lot of opportunity and you say yes to all of them, you start feeling overwhelmed. And sometimes the answer is don't say yes to all of them. Oh yeah, I was interviewed on Sal Mayweather's podcast too, Sunday. I don't know when that one's coming out, but I'll share that when that happens. That was a really fun one about homesteading. So it was like all these interviews and yeah, woo, lots of fun. And meanwhile, the coffee business is growing, which is the goal this year. When you have a lot of opportunities come up, you do need to weigh each one, because what you don't want to do is not deliver on a promise. Technically, Mother Earth News, I delivered on my promise on Monday. In my heart, I wanted it to be first thing Monday, and they probably did too. But I got it to them Monday. And that's what I said I would do. The interview I did with Jack was supposed to record Friday, and then things got in the way. We recorded it Monday. And that meant I bumped some other Monday stuff off of today. So, you have to be realistic about opportunities, but at the same time, you have to also decide, is this the time I go for it? And this weekend, this was the time I went for it. I spent all weekend long focused on a video that is 20 minutes long for Mother Earth News that when you see it, you're going to be like, that took you all weekend? Yeah, that took me all weekend because I had to go from the universe of content that can be in this video to what it's really about. I had to get the recording done, and I'm not usually recording videos. So my chops are, it's kind of like, the first time you record a podcast, right? It's maybe not my first time recording a video, but I haven't done that many videos. And then I needed to get the B-roll. I needed to get stuff set up that wasn't quite yet because I don't need to have it ready till September 1st. It is what it is. And when that happens to you, look at which one of those are the most important and prioritize, because that'll save you a world of hurt. And then as you're feeling overwhelmed, don't forget to take that minute and write your list of 7 things in the order you're going to do them. In the order you're going to do them. And then you do them. And for me, what really helps is setting that hour timer, right? Loretta says she can't wait for the outtakes from these videos. Yeah, I might put Tactical on that because he has a really good sense of humor. But what I do when I have way too much to do is I allocate time and I set timers to those things that need to move along. But maybe if I don't get them done today, it's okay. Because then I know I made forward progress and I'm not going to have everything land on my head. Because the alternative is not doing anything. And if you do nothing, then nothing moves forward. If you only do one thing and the other 7 things don't move forward, that can be a problem too. So you really have to decide. But for me, setting the timer also keeps me from getting distracted on social media. You may have noticed I haven't been on social as much the last few days. That's why. It keeps me from getting distracted by somebody stopping by. It keeps me from getting distracted by there's a cool video on YouTube. Like all of those things that is happening. And Loretta just said something funny. Your coffee business sure is growing. It's on fire too. Yeah, it was on fire. Something's on fire. Yeah. And so those are just tools I use to keep myself productive. It's kind of how I get things done. But I think people often ask me how I do so much. And the answer is I don't do as much as you think I do. I don't stop like other people stop. Like at 5 o'clock today, I'm not going to stop. But I also don't usually work myself to death, although sometimes I kind of do. But I keep things moving a little bit forward all the time. And when I do that, I get a lot done. The other thing is I am prone to overcommitment. And I admit that. And I try to show you what happens when I do that. Right? Do you do mix minus when you do an interview? Mix minus. Mix minus. I compress them, if that's what you're asking. I put them through Auphonic, AUPHONIC, because usually the people who I'm interviewing don't have mics like this. And so they're a lot quieter. And so I compress it so we're closer to equalized. What is my favorite shampoo? My favorite shampoo? I don't know. Brian, you might have to watch that one. That's a strange question. I don't have a favorite shampoo. I just use the one I use. Yeah. Anyway, so I hope this helps you think about when you're having lots of opportunity. I'm pretty excited by all the opportunities that are out there. And a big whiteboard does work. I have a week on my refrigerator. Oh, the other thing is happening, hip camp. Every night this week, hip camp. There's like 1 or 2 nights where somebody's checking out, but somebody's not checking in. But like all the campers are coming right now. So I have a week on a dry erase board on my refrigerator. And I wrote like who's checking in, who's checking out, all in one area. I wrote like who's stopping by, if people are stopping by. And I wrote when I'm recording. So I had like my recording session with Jack today on there. So if they walk in and see all my doors are closed, they know why. Or when Unloose the Goose is recorded. We're recording at 4 p.m. on Wednesday, and I believe we're covering alternatives to government schools for those of you who are interested. And that's also happening. So Hip Camp hat, hipcamp.com. You can list your property as a campsite, and you explain what people get. You know, if you have a toilet or not. If it's rustic camping, you can just say that. And then you put a price and they pay you, and random strangers show up at your house and camp. I have, because I do events, really great camping spot in the way back, so I don't have to see them. And I have a composting outhouse, so they have somewhere to go. And I have connected to my home hot and cold water sink for washing dishes and hot and cold water for a shower. So I have an outdoor shower. So at this time of year, if you want to go camping, you can rent my camp spot, use all those things, and then go on your merry way. And this weekend, we had a couple people from another state who just really wanted to do something they'd never done before. So they drove to Tennessee, camped here for a couple of days, and then took off today. And then later in the week, I'll get a PayPal transfer. Well, what I'm doing with that money right now is putting it in this mason jar. See that? That's my car fund, because I need to buy another car. And I haven't found the car I want to buy yet, but while I'm doing it, I'm stuffing cash in there for it. And then I also, you don't see it, but I pay myself a car payment every month for the car that I haven't bought yet, just because I might as well start making a car payment to myself so that I have the money for the car. Ken says, speaking of people stopping by, shall I stop by in 40? You can, if you want to. We're here. I'll just have to text Jenny about that, and you might find me gone, because in 45 minutes, I fully intend to be on a walk with my dogs. Maybe not quite yet, but we'll see. It depends on how cool it is. So, yeah, car fund. I get the car fund. And that's different from my emergency fund. I would tap into my emergency fund for the car if I had to, but I don't, right? Every time I make money that is above and beyond what I'm expecting to make, it just goes in there. Somebody pays cash for honey, goes in there. Somebody pays cash for beets, it goes in there. Somebody rents my hip camp, it goes in there. I sold the spiral staircase at base camp. Half of that money's mine, half is Tacticals, because we bought that property together. That money went in there. That's, that's how I'm doing it. And then, that's, then there's money to pull from if I need to that isn't coming out of my emergency fund, which is half the battle in my life, is not tapping into my emergencies for things that could be considered emergencies, because transportation is important and my car still doesn't work. That's right. My car got repaired, but now the compressor is stuck on. And when the compressor in your car sticks on, the coils get icy and then nothing works. So I haven't actually called the mechanic to talk about what we're doing next, because it takes time. And today I had 7 tasks on my list that were important, including talking to you guys to hopefully provide you with some entertainment, so you can be entertained by all my drama. And call the mechanic wasn't on today's list. I guess I'll call him tomorrow. We'll see. I am still doing bees, Jaggy. I've got the bees. I need to weed whack around them and haven't, because I can't get stung, and I'm trying to figure out how one gets the weed whacker that close to the hives without getting stung. I have no idea. So what's probably going to happen is I'm going to find somebody who is also a beekeeper and has a bee suit, who's willing to run my whacker over there. I actually have 2 electric whackers now, and they work great. So it won't take, it's like a 5-minute job. It's just that my bees might not like it and might sting you. And if you're in a bee suit, that's fine. But sometimes when I'm in my bee suit, they sting me through my bee suit. So I didn't want to risk it this close to having already had that allergic reaction. So yeah, they're like the tundra. The tundra is around them from Tennessee. Anyway, I just filled my emergency fund and just kept saving. Yep, that's the way to do it, Jenny. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the live stream today. I enjoyed your questions, and I hope to do a little bit more fireside chatty stuff. It's kind of fun to do a topic, so I know what I'm going to talk about when I get here, because I can't hear you talking back. But you can ask me questions in the chat. We can send questions in advance. Hat says, I had this first intermittent compressor, then stuck on, then stuck off. Turned out there was a bug fried in the switch. Finally had AC in the car by September. Yeah, I have no idea. No idea. Somebody needs to make Nicole a remote control weed whacker. I am pro that. I'm absolutely pro that. I wonder what the bees would do about that, or if they'd figure out it was me anyway. Little buggers. Broke coupling. Woo, not an electrical issue. I don't know. Brian, what are you working on? You do love the fireside chats. Okay, well, I'll do more. I don't know how many. I don't know when, but it's another opportunity. Yay! That's all the opportunities. Okay, guys, so tomorrow I'm interviewing something who's launching something really, really cool. It's really cool. And it's something that they made. And it's something that's a little different than a lot of the things that I've seen people launch. It's somebody that many of you have already seen their work before, experienced their work, and they're going to come on my show and talk about that. I think we'll probably talk about how they went from idea to what they have now, and then they're going to launch it. And that will be recorded tomorrow. I don't know if we'll record live or not. Probably not, because it's an interview, although maybe we could. I'll talk to the person about that. There's some editing involved in interview shows for me, so it's hard to do that live, which is why I don't usually do them live. But if we do that, it will just be the interview and not the podcast. And you're going to want to hear this one, because I don't know what your idea is right now, but you have an idea. And some of you might be thinking, I don't know if I should talk about this idea or pursue this idea, or I don't know who can give me advice on this idea. And we have a really strong community of people who know a lot. And I see it all the time on the Facebook group and in the MeRead group, people asking questions, people getting help. And even if your idea is not standard entrepreneurial or standard homestead, they can help you with your idea. You'd be surprised the knowledge base in there. So I want you to see what this person is launching. I want you to help me help them make it a success out of the gate. And then I want you to think about what you are going to launch and what you can do every day to get there. With that, make it a great week.